Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides. We're on my home turf, favorite parking lot location, because guess what? We have that truck people are still talking about like crazy. This is it. This is the totally redesigned 2022 Toyota Tundra. Our particular one is the limited trim, plus we have the TRD off-road package. But before we get into this full-size, blazing red 4x4 equipped truck, let's talk about what's going on here. The full-size truck segment has always been hotly contested, of course, with the American brands. Now, there are two Japanese auto manufacturers that produce trucks even to this day. Nissan with the Titan, and of course, Toyota with the Tundra. Now, it's been a hot minute since Tundra has been redesigned by Toyota, but boy, oh boy, the 2022 redesign is really shaking up the truck world, because guess what? They made some major changes, not only to the outside, not only to the inside, but of course underneath the hood. Now, like I said, there's lots of competition, not only from Nissan with the Titan, but also, of course, the Ram 1500s. You got Chevy with their Silverados, GMC with the Sierra, and of course, we can't forget the Ford F-150. But what I want to do with this particular review, since we have a limited trim, I want to compare it to the Chevrolet Silverado, and in particular the RST trim. Both of them fall within the same grade segment of the trim classes within Chevrolet and within Toyota. So let's go ahead, let's find out, did Toyota do the business with the Tundra, and is it the better truck? Is this limited with the TRD off-road package the truck to buy over the mighty Silverado RST? Let's go ahead and find out. Right off the bat, the proportions. You got that full-size truck look, and boy, oh boy, did they bring out some nice muscular appeal. At the front of the business, it's interesting comparing this to a Silverado, because a little bit, I could see some similarities. Now, the Silverado definitely looks a little bit more futuristic. This, though, they did a great job bringing that muscular look without going too over the top. Look at all the multi-LED headlight beams you're gonna get. We got LED daytime running lamps, turn signals, and just like the Silverado, we have functional side air curtains. Now, I like the way Toyota did the curtains better, the air intakes better than on the Silverado, because like I said, the Silverado looks a little too much like a transformer. This looks very truck-like, but also brings that functionality. Another thing you're gonna notice about the Tundra is all of the pieces kind of lock together in a very, very strong puzzle. So you'll notice how we got color matched in the lower corner, but then you're gonna get this nice satin aluminum style finish on the perimeter of the grille. This is part of the limited trim. And then as we come across that big, bold grille design, this is specific to the TRD off-road. So on all the grades, whether you're going 1794, whether you're going Platinum Limited or SR5, you could get the TRD off-road package. Visually, right off the bat, you're gonna get this TRD specific grille. Flat black, we got a forward-facing camera, the massive Toyota badge, and then I like the way they stamped the Tundra name, boom! Just like as if it was a hot piece of steel, stamp that Tundra name. And then you're gonna have some nice simple flat black, that's gonna take a nice beating. And of course, over 8 inches of ground clearance, because with the TRD package, it's not just about aesthetics, you're actually getting Bilstein dampers all four corners. As we hop up onto the hood, very bold, nice V formation, V for victory, and definitely Toyota wants to have that victory in the sales department on the hood. Love the way they worked it, especially the section that kind of waterfalls right into the fender area. Really, really shows a lot of attention to detail, and that's what I like about this truck. Now, when you come around the bend, what are we working with? Wheel and tire setup. Going TRD off-road, you're getting these 20-inch wheels. Now, these are not the same wheels as the TRD Off-Road Pro. Those are forged BBS wheels. This is something different. 20-inch wheel, love the satin black finish. You got the bright TRD script on the center cap. Even the way they did the calipers just looks very, very purposeful and really fits the red, that beautiful red finish that we have. Now, if you're wondering, well, Joe, what's the size of this tire? You're looking at 265 on the width and a meaty 60 series sidewall. Lori's gonna kind of swing around and showcase all the new work that they did with the upper control arm. You can see a little bit of blue there at the top. That is the top of the Bilstein damper. Bilstein uses special blue and yellow colors to designate their brand. It's sort of like Rancho suspension. Rancho's red and white. Bilstein, that German company that builds amazing shock absorbers, they use blue and yellow. Flat black around the fender treatment, I don't mind it on our truck. This is a truck meant for play, but it's also a truck meant for work. One of my favorite styling cues on the fender is this nice hard body line that they have that kind of just teardrops into the door. Gives it a really nice, almost flared fender look to it. You're gonna get color matched on the mirror caps with a little bit of gloss black, but the great news is they are electric folding. So when you lock the vehicle, for example, I'm gonna lock it right now, and once you lock it, which I think I don't have the keys on me, I can't lock it, so you gotta have the keys on you to lock it. But once you lock it, these mirrors are actually gonna electrically fold in, and I'll show you that when we go to the interior. Nice bold look on the Tundra name on the door in that shiny chrome finish. And what's nice is that the Tundra name matches perfectly with what's on the door handles. So you got the chrome on the door handles, bright shiny metalwork only along the bottom, which is great. And I like the way that they kind of flare it at the back of the window. We got a limited trim badge. Now, when I first saw that, I was like, that kind of seems out of place, but now it makes sense to me because there's a nice concave portion to the door, and it kind of just sits nestled perfectly in that little concave area. No running boards or anything like that, and you're gonna get that great ground clearance. At the rear, you could really see the Bilstein shock absorber back there. And remember, we got a fully boxed frame that's gonna be nice and rugged and take that beating. Speaking of taking a beating, for the first time on a Tundra, we got a carbon composite bed that's aluminum reinforced. That is something that they learned from the Tacoma. Tacoma had that first in 2016. Now we have it. It's gonna be dent resistant, corrosion resistant. When they took that one guy's Tundra that had over 1 million miles and they dissected it like you dissected your frog back when you were in high school and you saw its liver and you're like, ew. When they dissected the Tundra, they found that on that over 1 million mile truck, the one thing that really did not age well was the bed, a lot of rust. So you're not gonna have to worry about it with this new Tundra. Of course, you're gonna get the TRD 4x4 off-road emblem on the rear because we got that package. And then coming up around to the rear, it's looking good. We got LED lighting, super clean, nice vertical slots there. You'll notice you have the same interlocking features on the bumper like you did up front, where you got color match, locked in with a little bit of chrome finish. And then coming across the rear tailgate, I like the way they kind of brought some chrome, just like on the door handles. They put it on the handle for the tailgate here. The Tundra name is stamped in. We got 4x4. Of course, we got our full tow capacity there, and we'll talk more about towing when we pop the hood. My favorite feature that you're not gonna get on your Silverado, watch this. We have that nice quick release to lower the tailgate. If you got stuff in your hands, tailgate has a nice soft release. You'll notice you got that standard bed liner, LED lighting, plenty of tie-down locations, and they have the kind that are also movable. So you could slide these along the track, and we got a power source in the back as well. So they got you covered. Lock it in, loaded. If you're wondering why did they not give us a step tailgate, Toyota wanted to stick to keeping it solid because guess what? Their customers said that they wanted the strongest tailgate to get their dirt bikes, to get their lawn equipment, whatever you're putting in the bed, this tailgate's gonna take the beating over the step systems of some of those other brands, like on the Silverado. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and see what's powering the all-new Tundra. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. You do have hydraulic hood struts, just like on the Silverado. The one thing, though, that you're not gonna find on the Tundra that you could still get in the Silverado is that naturally aspirated V8 engine. Actually, on top of that, there's two other engine options you could put into your Silverado, where with the Tundra, you have two choices, and guess what? Neither of them are a V8, and neither of them are any kind of diesel setup. So what do we have in the new Tundra? Well, we have the new version of the iForce motor. And as you can see from the tasteful engine cover with the Toyota badge, it says the words twin turbo. No more V8, we're now looking at a twin turbo V6. Now the good news is, if you want more power, they actually have a hybrid setup. The first time on a Tundra, we brought it to you here on Raiti's Rides with some of the other trims that we've driven. That's gonna give you more horsepower with the twin turbo V6 and a couple electric motors. But what do we have in this Limited? We have the standard iForce turbo V6, 3.5 liters, 389 horsepower, 479 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to an all-new 10-speed automatic, 0 to 60 in 6.3 seconds. We got a payload capacity of 1,740 pounds, a towing capacity of 11,120 pounds. The truck weighs around 5,400 pounds. And if you want to know MPGs, guess what? In the city, you're looking around 20 miles to the gallon. Just to put that in perspective with you, old Tundra, previous generation Tundra, you were looking around 12 to 13 miles per gallon. So interesting to see that we have more horsepower with the twin turbo V6. We got more payload capacity, more towing capacity. But like I said, if you're comparing it to the Silverado RST, you only have 2 engine choices instead of a little bit more variety. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire up this twin turbo V6 and hear what it sounds like. All right, guys, we're inside this 2022 Toyota Tundra, this particular one being the Limited trim. Now, what's nice about the Limited trim, it's right in the sweet spot of the lineup. It's not as high as Capstone, and it's definitely not as entry-level as SR. Same thing with the RST trim of the Silverado. That's why I chose that trim, is they really fall together nicely in the middle of their lineups. Now, I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I've looked at the American truck brands. I've been looking for that full-size truck. I know about Titan. This Tundra's got me very curious, and I'm really liking the Limited trim. How much is this one? So MSRP is right around $60,000. To be exact, it's literally $59,960.89. Let's see how it stacks up to the Silverado, to the door panels. I love the nice, clean, upscale look in here over the Silverado. At the top, you're going to get soft touch material, perfect place to rest your arm after a hard working day, a little bit of gray, and then everything else is flat black except for that section of gloss black right by the 7-Eleven pickle holder there. You know those big pickles that come in the plastic bags of pickle juice? That's where you're going to want to put that, and just be careful not to get any pickle fingerprints on the gloss black. Door pocket is very long, but it's shallow. So if you're gonna put, say, a Jimmy John sandwich in there, go 6 inches and don't go double meat. Just keep it light on the meat and the extra fixings. And then you do have 2 cup holders for a couple bottles of Surge, maybe some Welch's grape soda or something like that. But going from the door panel to the dash, I love the nice interlocking design. Just like the exterior, they did the same job on the interior. This trim is really tasteful, nice silver gray finish. I wish they would have put that on the door panel where the gloss black is, but you got all soft touch, and then guess what? This is where the Tundra blows the Silverado out of the water. Now, we have not been able to really feature the new tech coming to the Silverado because of availability, but if we're comparing this to the 8-inch Silverado system, this 14-inch, which is optional in the Limited trim, is mind-blowing. Of course, you're going to have your full navigation, the way that you're able to zoom in, zoom out very, very easily. I love how flexible it is when it comes to all the apps, how you can set it up with your different driver profiles, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Let me show you a couple of my favorite features. So I'm going to go into settings, and then we're going to scroll to display. And one of the things that I like is very easily you could go daytime or nighttime. I like the nighttime better, but watch, when you go to daytime and I go back to our map, there's our map now. So they got that lighter feel to it, and you don't have to have the headlights on or anything like that. Another thing is, when you scroll in here and you keep scrolling, you could go through all sorts of different things. Like, for example, setting up those user profiles. Right now, we just have a primary driver, but you could set it up exactly the way you want it with all of your phone information, with your playlists, and all that into the system very easily. That's another favorite thing that I like. And then I think the third one that really blows my mind are the cameras. Now, Silverado has good resolution, but this 360 cam, because we have 360 camera display on the Limited trim, really allows you to make sure that nobody's peeping and creeping on you while you're at the mall. Say you're about to get out of the truck, you can see what's going on, or you're at your work spot. I put it into reverse. Look at the resolution, nice and large, and then you could easily change camera angles, 1, 2, 3. Even look at the bed, make sure nobody's sleeping in there that should be working instead of sleeping on the job. You could fire them if they're sleeping in the back of your Tundra, which is kind of weird, but sometimes people are willing to do whatever it takes to get out of work. I really am digging how they give you straight up controls for your dual climate. We have heated seats and ventilated seats, 3 stages on both, and then you can lock that rear diff electronically, shut off the traction control, and then look at this, wireless charging, plenty of room for 3 Musketeers, Twix, Kit Kat, easily stack, I would say 7 Kit Kat, and you'll be totally level here to where they won't fly around. We do have our TRD branded shifter because we have the off-road package, and we have the bright red TRD start-stop button to fire up your Tundra. Little bit of gloss black, but nothing too crazy. 2 cup holders. For the first time, we got drive modes, and you got that nice system that's effortless to go from 2 high to 4 high to 4 low with the 4x4 system. More storage space. Easily put, I would say, 10, 100 gram bars, and then you can fill this up with your peanut M&Ms. My only thing is, if you're gonna fill this up, be careful that you don't just open it and flip it up. But watch this, what's great is, you could actually get access without dumping your peanut M&Ms all over the floor. You could get access to what's in here. And what is in here? It's like an office space. You got your token holder for all your Aladdin's game tokens here, USB-C, USB-A, and then you actually have little separators. So for what you could do is, say you're a precious gem collector, you could actually keep like certain rubies here, some emeralds, and then maybe keep the big Hope Diamond separate. My advice though, is take that stuff out when you park your truck somewhere, especially if you tell everybody that you're into stones and rocks and stuff like that. Seats, nice soft material. I love the stitching, the way it's perforated, and the way that it's got like this gray background to it. Really classy. Full electric assist for the passenger. Obviously full electric assist for the driver. There isn't a sunroof on this particular trim, but the great news is we got the digital rear view mirror. That's another nice quality piece of technology to allow you to drive this truck so easily. But speaking of driving, why don't you get over here to the business end? I want to show you behind the wheel in the Tundra Limited. Hi guys, here I am in here. I got the door closed. You're not ready to see because I wanted to show you those power folding mirrors. Nice, easy to do. You got switch right by the door panel here. And then of course, like I said, when you lock up the vehicle, those will fold in. Speaking of in, come on in because we have 2 memory seat settings for the driver's seat. And then with the TRD off-road package, you are gonna get an aluminum brake and throttle, and I like the all-weather, the Tundra. That's an additional 5 extra horsepower. I like the all-weather floor mats, and we got our heated steering wheel. So something you don't get in your Tacoma, you're getting in, obviously, your Tundra. We got our full power seat controls. I'm 6 feet tall, plenty of room, and if you're wondering, did Toyota get rid of the sliding glass window? No. Up top here, I actually could just push this button, and it drops the rear glass, which is really cool. And we'll show you that when we get through the, here, I'll actually make it even better. We'll drop the passenger window. Watch this. Up and down, all with the touch of a button. Guess what? Your Silverado ain't gonna do that unless you take a baseball bat and break the glass out. But then you have to get some clear film to fill in the holes. So I guess you can't do that. But you can do it on the Tundra with the press of a button. Steering wheel, all new, and guess what? I'm loving it. The leather The perforated leather on the sides here. I like the way they did the bottom. It kind of gets nice and thick, so when you're rotating the wheel, you got a good grab place to grab onto. Flat black on the buttons. It is a manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel, so that's really awesome. And the dash, if you were hoping for the fancy digital display, this one doesn't have it. It's a mixture of analog with a 4.2-inch digital display, but if you notice in the center there, you have your pitch and your roll. So don't be a pitch, don't be a little pitch. You could actually see how much pitch you have, whether it's little or big, as you're going off-roading, which is important to have that information. Plus, there's a cornucopia of other readouts that you could bring up. But why don't we go ahead? Let's get into the back seat because I'm ready to take this Tundra for a drive. Guys, back seat time, of course. Since we don't have the hybrid version, the great news is you get tons of snack storage space underneath the seat. Plus, we have the official Toyota first aid kit. It's got little trucks on the Band-Aids and stuff since we have the Tundra. And what's nice is after, say, like a dirty day at the job, on the job site, you can put all those work boots and gloves and equipment in here so you don't mess up your beautiful interior in your all-new Tundra, since you did promise your wife that you were going to take her out for her birthday because you forgot last year what day her birthday was. This year, you're not going to do it. I believe in you. Seats totally have plenty of room. What I would advise is when you take your wife out, put the present back here. And then what you'll do is you'll just reach around and surprise her. Maybe a bracelet, maybe a necklace, maybe some Raity's Rides merch. It's the gift that keeps on giving. Plus, they'll love you a lot more and a lot longer with some Raity's Rides merch. That's a shameless plug that I just did. You do have your two cup holders, very nice. One of my major zonks is I don't like the way they mounted the AC vents. It kind of just blows on your shin or your ankle, so I wish they would have done something different with that. You do have, of course, the required off-road Twinkie tray. 2 Twinkies could put in here. No cream is going to squirt anywhere, I promise. USB-A, USB-C, and a home power source. And then, of course, when it comes to space, you got more room than some people have in their apartments. So I really like the amount of space in here. Even got a nice soft, it's so soft, feel it, touch it. Oh, nice. Soft on the armrest, 2 cup holders. And like we showed you, you could drop the rear glass, unlike in your Silverado. But you know what? It's that time. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go on throttle in our Tundra. All right, guys, we're in the 2022 Toyota Tundra. This one being the limited trim and having that standard I-Force engine, which is now a 3.5 liter twin turbo V6, 10-speed automatic. And right away, what you're gonna love, especially if you're going with the TRD off-road package, is just how smooth of a riding truck this is. Bilstein builds some of the best shock absorbers in the industry, and really, even with the 20-inch wheels, it drives so nicely down the road. Plus, then you're gonna have those other things that are gonna allow you to go off-roading with the 4x4 and have all those other nice touches. The 14-inch infotainment system is just a pure joy. It has automatic over-the-air updates, which is gonna allow the system to stay new and fresh year in and year out. So you don't have to bring it in to get it updated. They do it right over the air, which I think is super smart. You got the ability to have the different driver profiles, like I told you, especially if you have other people in your family that are gonna drive your Tundra, or maybe even employees. I think one of the things that I really enjoy about driving this full-size Tundra is just how easy it is to drive, especially in everyday traffic. Of course, your visibility is great out the front, out the back, and you have all the amenities and comfort, plus the Toyota Sensing 2.5 safety technology, which is great. And they've done something with the tone of this twin turbo V6. It actually sounds pretty good, to be honest with you. I even think it sounds better than the EcoBoost in the Fords. But let's go on throttle, shall we? Because that's what we want. On throttle, here we go, yeah! fast shifts from the 10-speed, but really get you up and running very, very quickly for a truck this size. I like this patch of road here because it's all ripped up, and it really allows you to see how it just absorbs all of the rough pavement so well that it's not getting transmitted to the driver's seat. They did a great job adding more sound deadening to this new generation Tundra. Of course, the rigidity of the chassis, and then just the overall drivability. Everything is better in the new Tundra. There's nothing that you're gonna miss. And if you think you're gonna miss the V8, I promise you, this thing's got plenty of power. On throttle, here we go. On the brakes, look at this. This thing, easy truck to drive and to drive well. Handles very predictably, nice and balanced, even for a big, large, full-size truck. The way the hood is shaped with that V formation on the hood, it allows you to have perfect vantage points for seeing what's in front of you. And then if you need a truck that has storage space, you might have to go out and buy some new things to put in all the storage spaces in this truck. That's how much storage space there is you're gonna have to go out and buy more stuff. I know maybe some of you are disappointed that this limited trim doesn't have the digital display, but I promise you, the analog gauges look great, easy to read, and then you do have that full color 4.2-inch digital display in the center, which has some great information, including, like I showed you earlier, the pitch and roll. And then you got the different modes. You know, we've been in sport mode, you got normal and eco to help you squeeze out those few extra MPGs. But overall, I'm very excited for you to get behind the wheel of this truck. I'm definitely excited to share it with you, but you definitely have to get behind the wheel of one of these new Tundras because they've made some big gains. And here we go, once again, on throttle, here we go. Telling you, even in two-wheel drive, which I have it in right now, you do have a little bit of spin, and the traction control, you know, mitigates that, but it does have plenty of power, more power than the V8. But hopefully this review has been very beneficial with showing you what's going on with this truck. We're gonna get back to where it all started and wrap this one up. So I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, it's been a masterful day here with this new Toyota Tundra. Definitely got to thank the whole Toyota team for allowing us access to this press fleet vehicle, being able to stick to our word here on Raiti's Rides and bring you the different trims. This limited, going up against the Silverado RST. Let me know what you think. Which way you're going to spend your money? Has Toyota cracked the secret code to get that better fuel economy, but also continue their reliability that they're known for? Or are you going to go with the Silverado that has more variety in the engine choices? Put it in the comment section. Let me know which way you'd spend your hard-earned money. But if you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raiti's Rides family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you, click the link in the description. Get yourself some Raiti's Rides merch. Got to give it up to the champ behind the lens. She wins all the awards, and we proved it in our last Q&A, showing that beautiful trophies off to everybody. Show Lori some love in the comment section. Thank you, Lori, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.